Take two people who attend the exact same seminar. They learn the same techniques and apply the same manifesting formulas. One creates the life of their dreams, while the other remains stuck in a cycle of constant struggle. The difference isn't a lack of effort, it's a misunderstanding of how the process actually works. Manifestation is an energetic science. The universe doesn't respond to the words you speak or the images on your vision board. It responds to your internal emotional frequency. Ancient success algorithms used astrology as a shorthand to map this internal physics. In this framework, the moon represents your inner emotional world, while Saturn represents the rigid physical reality you see around you. Most people try to force Saturn to change, while their internal moon remains out of alignment. To shift your reality, you have to diagnose the specific internal patterns that are disrupting your signal. If the frequency you broadcast doesn't match the reality you want, your efforts will produce zero results. Identifying these misalignments is the only way to move past hope and into a state where you are actively commanding your environment to respond. The first barrier is the act of wanting itself. When you tell the universe, "I want money," the frequency you broadcast is, "I don't have it." Because the universe reflects your signal, it responds by outputting conditions that keep you in that state. This leads to the trap of waiting for your conditions to change before you feel successful. But the internal state must be the origin point. The signal flows from your internal world out into physical reality, never the other way around. This is how someone can sit in a 900-square-foot apartment with sheets over the windows and still manifest a mansion. They hold the feeling of living in that mansion so completely that their current walls become irrelevant. When you maintain that internal state without requiring physical evidence, your environment eventually catches up. The residences worth millions appear, but the baseline mood, the frequency, remains exactly the same. True abundance requires feeling complete before the money arrives. If you need the result to feel the state, you are broadcasting a frequency of poverty. Desperation is another major signal killer. Extreme attachment to an outcome creates fear, which blocks attraction. To fix this, you have to learn to release the grip. You have to care, but not that much. This was the core principle taught by Herb Cohen, one of the world's leading experts on negotiation and strategy. He taught that the secret to life is simple: care, but not that much. You release the attachment to whether or not the manifestation occurs. But most people find it difficult to feel good when they're surrounded by debt. This is where the conflict between your emotions and your physical reality is most intense. You believe your happiness is a hostage of your bank account, yet you can be miserable and happy at the same time. Think of a rainy camping trip at Indian Pond. You're in a wet sleeping bag, you're cold, you're covered in mud, your physical conditions are terrible, but you're having the time of your life. You have to train yourself to use your willpower to feel good regardless of the current weather. If you wait for the circumstances to change before you change your inner climate, they never will. Another misalignment occurs when you live in the past or the future. Dwelling on guilt or worrying about next month's rent disconnects you from the present, and the present moment is the only place where creation happens. This requires an honest self-assessment, what Shakespeare called being true to yourself. You have to know where you are, embrace it, and remain fully present. You cannot create a new future while you are mentally living in a different time. Many people also make the error of prioritizing physical strategy over mindset. They focus on real estate techniques or stock market tips, thinking the right method will compensate for a poor frequency. In the ancient success framework, the planet Jupiter represents expansion, but that expansion needs an emotionally ready vessel to fill. Your physical strategy is just the car. Your frequency is the fuel that makes it move. Even a perfect business plan will fail if the person executing it is broadcasting a signal of lack. Success is 90% internal and only 10% technique. Stop checking to see if your manifesting is working. Instead, perform a rigorous audit of the frequency you are broadcasting right now. The stars don't dictate a fixed fate. They act as a mirror. The universe is simply reflecting your current internal state back to you in the form of physical circumstances. Manifestation isn't about acquiring things. It's a path towards self-mastery. It's about becoming the type of person who can remain emotionally stable regardless of what is happening in the physical world. To change what you see, you must change what you broadcast. You have to upgrade your thoughts, your emotions, and your entire energetic signature simultaneously. Your next life cannot begin until you choose to broadcast your next vibration.